University of Virginia's College at Wise here in Tespa Week 2. Both teams coming off a first week loss, Butler to Stevens Institute of Technology and UVA to Ferris State University. Going into a slightly different format this week. I am hosting this lobby, so hold on. But slightly different format this week. We're doing a best of 5 series, one match per week. This is different from the way Tespa matches usually fall out, but just based on the way that this season is set up, that's the way we're going to do it. So we're going to head into a best of 5 series actually right away because both teams are ready. We have here in the lobby. Our first map is going to be Oasis, the control map. We'll make sure both teams are ready to go, and we'll launch right into this one. Again, Oasis map. First map is going to be Control. Second will be Escort. Loser will pick from Dorado, Havana, and Rialto. And third map will be Hybrid, choosing from Kings Road, Numbani, and Eichenwald. If we get to a map 4, that'll be Assault. And if we get to a control map, we'll do that as a map 5. Beyond that, it's going to be a lot of back and forth. And so we are going to throw ourselves into this match here. Starting on Oasis University is going to be the play. Trying to see exactly what these teams are able to do here. Again, both coming off of losses, both looking for their first win in the Tespa season. Obviously, this really nice Oasis map here, based in Egypt, I think, or something. But there's a control point in the middle that the teams are going to be fighting for possession of throughout this series. Whoever builds 100% capture progress first will win. And then it's best of 3 on this map. So here we have the UVA spawn actually, so let's hop in with Butler University. Here's Sled Tiger on the far right, looks like potentially. That'll be usually a good pick on Oasis. Just a matter of seeing exactly how this is going to go as we finally get into the series. Again, obviously played with 222 hero limit. That's pretty standard at this point now for Overwatch. Looks like Butler's going to be playing into the Hanzo Mei with a Pharah Doomfist. Super interesting. Obviously, Mei is really nice. Really nice in this meta right now. And now we're just sort of posturing here at the very beginning of this series to try to see where you can be able to come from first control. We have the Rhine Zarya versus the Rhine D.Va. I like the D.Va, honestly, especially with these DPS heroes. Is able to come up here with a big freeze from UVA made start this one off to demech the D.Va as now the brawl begins on the point, trading a Pharah and an Ana, but that's a couple quick kills for Tadpool's Zarya and make that 3. That's probably going to be a first cap here for UVA on the red team. And again, now the percentage will start ticking up to 100 as Butler is coming back, trying to make it a second attempt here. The D.Va was demeched. Where did he go? Looks like he may have been stuck under the map. Finally was able to build his mech back. Now he's going to be right here on the front lines for Butler. Go on board with Panic with Soda as they make their second approach. Checking both sides here, watching out for the Hanzo. But with the rocket punch from the Doomfist, able to take out Anglers Hanzo. This could be another quick kill potentially on the Drake. No, not quite. But we're still moving around. Butler with the engage on both sides as the Coalescence comes out. The Shatter comes out from the red Reinhardt. And the Coalescence as well from Butler. But unfortunately, it's 3 more kills here for the front line of UVA. And that's going to be another reset, unfortunately. As Butler now looking at about 50% capture progress for UVA, rather, as we continue through this series. Cabbage on the Doomfist, we're going to be on board for him a little bit. Looking for a pick here. Try to open up this point so the rest of the team can get in. We're looking at the sound barrier from the Butler's Lucio, which can be a good counter to the Raptor Surge from the Zarya that we're sure we'll see coming off this match. As well as the Dragon Strike potentially could be comboed. So we'll have to see if the sound barrier will be successful. But Doomfist going in. There's the Dragon Strike. There's the Raptor Surge. Sure enough, sound barrier coming out just almost a little bit too late. Not quite, as we have a kill here from the Doomfist, and we're getting some work done here. Trading out 2 kills for either team here. And it's still contested on the points, but unfortunately that's working in favor of UVA as the Coalescence comes out from Butler trying to get some kills. Looks like they may actually be able to recap this one just at about 92%. And that's about as close as you want to cut it here if you're Butler. They're going to have to win several fights in a row here in order to potentially come out with the control of the point here at the end of the map. Looks like some pressure here from the Zarya against our D.Va, which is still demeched. Obviously, we want to try to build that ultimate as quickly as possible. Hopefully, it will be successful. But in the meantime, Butler's down at a little bit of a disadvantage as the rally is popped here for the rest of the fight as they're pushing up. Blizzard comes out, not able to be countered. Unfortunately, self-destruct. 2 kills from Pineapple Soda on the D.Va. That's huge. Able for Butler to stay on this fight, but we've got to stall out for as long as they can. They can't afford to have this capture again as Optimal Mets Maze falling down through the hole. Another kill, and unfortunately this looks like a cap here for UVA, and now it's Butler on their back feet. As they've got only a few percent even to try to touch. It's got to be the D.Va. They've got 2. Butler has 2 players on the point now as the brawl comes out. Freeze, losing the Reaper, losing the Lucio, losing the Reinhardt. Unfortunately, that's going to be about all she wrote. UVA is going to be able to hold here as almost a team kill here. Except for the Moira, and now sure enough, there is a team kill to end Oasis University. UVA will take it 100 to 37%. But of course, it's not over yet here for the Butler University squad, as we are only, this is round 1 out of 3 potentially, as this is a best of 3. So Butler have to win the next 2 points in order to take this map. As we're heading now to Oasis City Center, exactly the same thing. We have a big capture point here in the middle, and the 2 teams will come and do their best to take it. As we do a little zoom out here, there's the jump pad that all the heroes love to bounce on, and you can see a really nice view of the high ground there. So I want to see what I want to see from Butler. We saw some really good things. We want to see continued use of the big plays. Potentially, we want to see some kind of counter to the Zarya that we haven't been able to monitor as well. And I want to see really Cabbage on the far. This is going to be an excellent shot as well. See exactly what he's able to manage here with the fancy golden gun showing up here on this skin. I like it. Against the far on the other side as well. He's actually super low. They're able to get the kill finally onto Anguish. And that's a good start for... there we go. It's a good start for this point. Butler's looking like they're going to get first cap just based on these first 2 kills and make that 3. There we go. It's 3 kills unanswered for Butler University, and that's going to be a first capture. That's really nice. Now let's try. The goal is, the name of the game is to see how long they can press this advantage. As we have Reinhardt chasing down the UVA Ryan here. See if we can get the kill. Finally, sure enough. The D.Va, a really nice stagger actually that's going to make the approach very much harder for UVA as they go. And so again, trying to approach just from the oppressive rocket power of this Pharah. Super nice on this point when you've got to force them through this choke like this. Wouldn't be surprised if we see UVA potentially on a rotation to try to avoid some of this damage. We've got to be watching out for that a little bit. But no, it looks like they're pressing basically all the way through. As we have now the soldier swap from UVA trying to counter the Pharah, but unfortunately when you have your Pharah and this guy that can hit the shots, that's what it's going to take. Raj comes out, just to secure this fight, and it pulls out a couple kills, but also big from Nehush on the Reinhardt, building up an Earth Shatter, and that's going to be enough to hold as Butler creeps up to 50% on Oasis City Center. Again, with the D.Va chasing kills, that's awesome. That's going to be a really nice dagger if they can manage it. Unfortunately, it's not looking good, so Pineapple Soda has to retreat, get healed up by his Moira. Now, UVA coming in, looking at the Earth Shatter and the Graviton Surge. I wouldn't be surprised if one or both of those are in this next fight. It's a matter of trying to find a window where the D.Va is not able to use your defense matrix. Defense matrix is really important. The fact that you're focusing, but of course the bomb actually gives you a grab window if you can take it. Full charge for the Zarya and only a kill onto the immortality field. But a couple really good kills from Cabbage as far. I love this play that we're seeing out of the Pharah here from Butler University. Really able to find success here on this Oasis City Center map, and a couple more kills up to 92% for Butler University. This might just be a victory right here. Try to see who can touch the point. It looks like it's going to be the Moira attempting to tag, but it's not going to be enough. And all the way up to 100 to 0 on Oasis University. That's an amazing turnaround. That's exactly what we want to see from Butler University, tying up Oasis. And as we head into the final map, Oasis Gardens, I really want to see what these teams are able to come up with. Obviously, I would love to see more of this Pharah that's working out really well. I'm a fan of that. I actually Rex, fun fact, my first hero that I started playing seriously was Pharah. I would love to see more of that, but it's a matter of how and if UVA is going to be able to counter this, as we're now just coming into the Butler spawn. Again, let's watch some Pharah play. Potentially, really only the soldier here from Optimal Nap able to potentially serve as a direct counter. Again, playing the Reinhardt and Zarya appears to be a favorite, a fan, or a favorite, I should say, of UVA. But again, the damage boosted rockets are causing problems here for UVA. Trading a Hanzo for a Reinhardt, unfortunately, that's a little bit in favor of Virginia. But at the same time, this is still a pretty nice brawl on point as we have the D.Va stagger. Moira coming in trying to heal up her teammates, but it's still a brawl on the point. UVA slightly outnumbered Butler players, and in fact they are starting to fall low. Looks like it's going to be a Virginia cap. Nafish is able to stall this one out, but I kind of think, yeah, you'd want to die and come back with your team before anything crazy happens. It's going to be University of Virginia Cavaliers who are able to come up with the first capture here. It's a matter of seeing what kind of setup you can get with these heroes. Obviously, trying to build up a ground without surge here for the Zarya. Finally is able to pick it up. Tadpool obviously trying to play around the D.Va again with the Grav. It's going to be interesting to see how she's able to manage to do that. Slightly cut out on the Bay. Maybe didn't have Ice Block. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but taken out, and the Grav is going to be able to secure this likely as the Coalescence comes out to answer. To answer the shatter from UVA, it's still technically anybody's round here as we're trading some players. It's not looking great though as the Mercy comes down. Meanwhile, UVA is built up to about 40% on the control. On the control point. Technically, this fight isn't over yet. We've sort of had a pause here after the first couple kills, but the shield bash comes through, and then the Reinhardt charge. Unfortunately, they're both going to go off the map, and so now it's just a matter of who can last the longest on the point without the Reinhardt. Coalescence comes out, and there's the Tactical Visor is the name of this ultimate. Going to take out the Bar Mercy with precision, and that's going to be a fight that you're okay losing, I think. As Butler, obviously you certainly don't want to have tons of more of those, but with the Tactical Visor, it's really hard not to lose your Far Mercy, just based on the type of ultimate with the aimbot there on the Soldier 76. I want to see how this Earth Shatter gets used. I want to see how this Barrage gets used. They could potentially be comboed, but at 85%, we're looking at maybe one fight, maybe 1.5. That's about all you're going to get. Or we're trying to get the sneak Barrage potentially. There's the Earth Shatter, and there is the kill. It's actually able to. That's able what am I trying to say? We got rid of the Dragon Strike from the Hanzo. That's incredibly huge on the single rocket. I'd love to watch a replay of that. And that's going to make the difference for Butler. Is able to clean up the point all the way. UVA at 99%, and that's unfortunately all they're going to get, at least for now. As Butler is able to win this one off the back of a lost Dragon Strike and some really nice kills here from the Pharah Barrage Earth Shatter combo. That's exactly what you want if you're Butler. And again, now the stalling period begins. UVA has to win one fight in order to win this round and take the map and go up in this series 1-0 as we're here now on board with the Zarya. Maywell comes out, and obviously both bubbles here as well, but we're just trying to have as much control of the point as they can, but really this map has just been a story of the Pharah in the air, who's been virtually uncontested. The DPS here from UVA not able to handle what Butler's putting down here, particularly Cabbage, but a really big 3K here from the Reinhardt of UVA is actually able to potentially turn things around. We got to see exactly what's happening here, but self-destruct from Butler and the Barrage coming out, that's ought to be enough to clear the point, as we have just Jack 4x4 here on the point on the Reinhardt, trying to stall this out as long as he can for Butler, I should say. Or trying to stall things out for UVA, but yeah, at this point you kind of want to die if you are a Cavalier. As the resurrection comes in from the Pharah, Butler will be at full strength. There's some kind of visual bug there on the spectator. It's interesting. But Cabbage is back. up to 75%. We're getting really close to some really exciting action here. Earth Shatter's coming up for both teams, as well as the Tactical Visor on the side of UVA. We want to watch out for that as much as we can. Obviously, falling out of line of sight is good. Unfortunately, we lost Diversity. That's going to be a problem. As the Rockets come out, a quick double tap here for Cabbage. I feel like all I'm doing is watching the Farah, but at the same time, that's about all they have the ability to do, as UVA is getting several kills here, cleared off the point. Is anybody going to be able to touch it? Looks like maybe not, as they're able to take 99 to 98% on Oasis Gardens. Unfortunately, UVA pulls out the win here. That was a really nice map from both teams. I really like some of the looks we were able to see from the DPS line, particularly of Cabbage, but also some really nice things from Pineapple Soda and Diva that want to compliment as well. As we're here, starting off with Depression on the Moira with play of the game here from Oasis City Center. It's a very nice map. I'm a fan of that. As Butler, unfortunately, is now down. Down one.
Impeccable.
What am I trying to say? Down one map. It's such a interesting. Clearly, I can't think and change the score at once. But it's such an interesting look here for Butler after the first map. And we're headed into map 2, which is going to be an escort map. And it's a matter of seeing what map it's going to be. It will be Dorado, Havana, or Rialto. Here on map 2, it'll be Butler's pick. And then UVA will get to pick whether they're on attack or defense. Looks like we'll be going to Havana on this particular map 2. So we'll get the lobby set up here. Headed to Havana. Waiting on UVA's pick here. They're going to have to stall a little bit. But that was a really nice map. I'll talk a little bit about the Oasis map, because it seemed like it potentially took Butler a little bit to sort of warm up on the first map on University. Looks like UVA is going to attack first. So red side it is then.
Yeah, I agree. If we don't have Romo, we're just gonna
Ready when you are. Okay, but yes, this Oasis map super cool. Butler was able to sort of take some time here on University to warm up a little bit, potentially get used to that Reinhardt Zarya, but pulling out the Farah on City Center and on Gardens was super successful. It's going to be a short pause here from UVA in between maps. But I'm liking what I can see. Havana, obviously, a really... oftentimes when we see it played at the professional level, we see lots of snipers on this map. Some interesting defensive strats as well. You can spawn camp. I'd love to see Butler pull out the spawn camp here on first point. It's just kind of a matter of seeing what things are able to come out here on Havana. Obviously, I think it is the newest map in the Overwatch rotation. And this is the last Tespa week we'll be playing on the competitive season 20 map pool, as competitive season 21 begins on like the 7th, I think, of March. And so next week we'll be playing on the season 21 map pool, which will be slightly different. May or may not see Havana again. But I'll be interested to see exactly how this goes down, as we are still hanging out in the lobby here waiting on one of the players from UVA to be ready. But I am not at all very concerned about Butler here going into map 2. I think this is coming out to be a really nice series, really close series. And in fact, a decisive 100-0 win on Oasis City Center. That's going to be significant. I want to see what kind of DPS answer. Here we go. What kind of DPS answer UVA is able to come up with. Because of some of the cool things we were able to see here from Butler in the past. It's already this season, or already this series, I should say. So we have Butler on the left. They're going to be defending first, UVA-wise, on the attack. This is a payload map, so we have here our floating hover car of Rum, they're going to have to push it all the way through the streets of Havana into the rum plant. This is point A, and then around the corner through the distillery to reach point B, which is here, and then out to wherever this is, some kind of old fort, I think, to reach point C and complete the map finally.
Ready for battle.
Again, Butler on the defense here as they're rolling out. With the Reinhardt charge, you gotta love it. Also, what skin is that? That's a Shanghai Dragons Reinhardt skin, I think. I legitimately can't tell what skin that is. I don't know. It's cool though. But so yeah, they're not, looks like, going for the spawn camp. I kind of would like to see that. Oftentimes you see teams hold like right here outside the spawn doors, just because by the time you lose that first fight, it's still going to be fine, you know, to try to catch a second fight before the first point attack. But it's, you know, this is what we have. So as the Sonic Arrow comes out early for Butler, and the payload is beginning to be moved. Obviously, the range battle here, the Hanzo has the advantage from Cabbage, but obviously fighting on his opposite sniper from Anguish here on UVA. There's Sonic Arrow comes out as well, trying to get some watching done. But meanwhile, the payload is moving kind of uncontested. I'm a little disappointed. Maybe we'll talk to them about this after the series, see if we can get a little bit of a, you know, Hanzo versus Hanzo battle that's going on here. But a little bit of a strategy change potentially I'd like to see from Butler. But that being said, the Fire Strike is able to take down the Reinhardt, and this payload is moving uncontested. With Hanzo coming up with some kills here from Cabbage. See if we can make it a third. It hasn't really affected the rate of the payload though, as the Mei is forced to use her ice block. Oh, and that's going to be a solo onto the ice block Mei. I don't believe it. Unfortunately, not able to get the kill, but is able to. The kill comes out from the Brigitte. As we have the Zarya on the point, that's going to be about it. And Butler finally wins their first fight. It's a little bit late, but it's able to save the point here, and it's a matter of trying to see where and how Butler's able to defend from this next attack. Obviously, you'd love to see as much visibility as you can. I want to see the Sonic Arrow come out. I'm sure Butler's team does too, just for the sake of visibility. But some really good shots from Trickmaster on the Ana, able to pressure out that Hanzo as we go. The Graviton Surge comes out, answered by the Earth Shatter to prevent much of the damage at all here with the freeze from the Red Mei, but that's still really nice kills here. Combination from the team, but particularly a Fire Strike from Pineapple Soda's Reinhardt. That's going to be enough for the team kill, and Butler's able to hold again. UVA has now only 2 minutes to try to capture point A. If they're successful, they'll be able to, they'll be given additional time to try to see how far they can go. But 2 minutes left to hold for Butler if they're trying to pull off the full hold. But an early pick from Cabbage's Hanzo, that's enough to at least discourage UVA push if it's not going to stop it entirely. Obviously, UVA has the spawn advantage though, with their spawn doors being so close to where the fight is going on currently, or Butler will have to come from almost halfway across the map. That's obviously a disadvantage here for Butler, but with the trading of the Hanzo, that's going to be a slight concern. The Red Earth Shatter comes out for UVA, finds a couple stuns but no kills, and Pineapple Soda trades with the charge kill on the Reinhardt, slept on the payload, and that's the Earth Shatter comes out, but no one is able to counter to that, unfortunately. The Nano Boosted Reinhardt ought to be able to clean up here, at least to push some players away. But again, oh, there we go. There's a couple really good kills. 3 kills, in fact, for the Hanzo combo with the Graviton Surge, and that's going to be another fight win, really off the back of what looked like a loss. They were down several players, but the Graviton Surge Dragon Strike combo from Nahush and Cabbage, that's what it took to clear off this point once again. And now we're at 40 seconds, just like that. We have trying to go sneakily through some buildings, it looks like, here from UVA.
Need to move the payload.
Yes, we do need to move the payload optimal map, I agree. But here comes, an excellent wall. Excellent Mei wall. I can't even get around it. Coming out from Sly Tiger as they're trading pull as the Red Graviton Surge comes out, Red Blizzards comes out. They're throwing all the ultimates at this. This is UVA's last fight, and they're able to get 2 kills as a result. Make that 3. Looks like they're probably going to be able to come away with this point. as the quick swap to Tracer from Cabbage in order to try to stall this out as long as they possibly can. And overtime push will be excellent here, but I don't know if Zaren Astro is going to be able to last that long. Looks like he's still alive though, and Point finally does fall with some reinforcements now coming in from Butler, but I think wisely the Reinhardt is going to back away, not contest this, and we'll go ahead and oh no, this is not the stagger you want. And Pineapple Soda is going to go down after the really nice sleep here from Trickmaster's Ana. I'm actually liking some of the plays he's made so far in this series, but that is going to be point A captured for UVA. So they have just over 2 minutes to make it all the way to point B through the distillery here. So now I'd love to see Butler take some time, get a little bit regrouped here as it is now time. Oh, it's a Tracer behind. The door is closed, but that might actually be a stealth advantage here, as we have Cabbage kind of going on a stealth message. Oh, it throws the pulse ball in. Looks like he gets a hit marker, but no kills, unfortunately. It's not really what you want to see. But unfortunately, you know, that's kind of how it goes. We still got the Tracer in behind as the red Earth Shatter comes out. Looks like finds about nothing. Neither does the blue Shatter either, really. But the fight has commenced now as the UVA is sort of funneled in here by the Maywall. No kills yet, but lots of really good cleave damage coming out from both Reinhardts. The shields are going down. Both Coalescence coming out. I feel like it's been a story of just answering Coalescence countercharge, but the nano boost onto Jack's 4x4 is going to be a slight disadvantage here for Pineapple Soda, and shoot off a couple kills, 3 kills, 4 kills for UVA, and that's going to be another fight won. A minute and 10 seconds now to make it to point B. It looks like they're going to do it potentially with no resistance. Have to see whether Butler decides to contest this or not. Again, with the duel of the Reinhardts, they're going to try to contest. It looks like potentially Pineapple Soda can go in. Is the rest of his team with him? Looks like not. Okay. So, given UVA, unfortunately, point B, more or less for free. I mean, there's not really much you could have done with that, so it's fine. But both Reinhardts, again, getting in a tussle. I love the hammer measuring contest these Reinhardts are getting into. But unfortunately, a kill onto the Mei. Really vulnerable here to some Lucio boots. We had a Lucio, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see. Wouldn't be surprised if we saw a swap, but at the same time, Lucio probably won't. Well, Cabbage, unfortunately, falls off the map. I don't know if he was waiting on a recall that wasn't up or what, but that's not how you want to see that go. And the payload continues to move. Zaren Astro's Moira trying to retreat a little bit. The Maywall comes out, but again, all this free movement here for UVA onto Havana point 3. Because point 3 is again where we're headed. The Earth Shatter is about up. I would love to see this put to good use. Also, the rally for Butler and the Blizzard almost here, as well as Coalescence again. Moira's again really similar rates of charge on the Coalescence. The red Earth Shatter comes in. Oh, but the blue Earth Shatter retaliation, wonderful. Solo Shatter on the Reinhardt, but you know, it's at this point it's all about the style, and I think that's worth the style points here for Pineapple Soda, who's frozen and almost melted down by the Coalescence, but is able to stay here as the Riptire comes in and gets no kills, unfortunately. Frozen by the Blizzard. Actually, I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it's excellent regardless. Slight Tiger May falls. The Reaper coming out here, trying to get some kills, looking for the Moira, who's faded away and is not able to find anything. But this fight continues on the bridge. Butler's slightly at advantage. Of course, Pineapple Soda falling to the Fire Strike, but he'll be back relatively quickly as they're very close here. Now UVA is to the capture point. Red May almost falling. 2 kills for the Reinhardt. It's looking very, very close, but not quite as close anymore. We're here with a couple kills again for UVA. Pineapple Soda's Reinhardt's going to fall, and that's going to be the point as the Red Blizzard comes out from Optimal Nap. And UVA is able to complete Havana. All 3 points captured with 16 seconds left in the time bank. In order to match this score, Butler's going to have to do the same thing. Push all the way down here to the end on their attack round. That being said, they if they're able to finish with more than 1 minute left in the time bank, then they will get a chance to attack again, and that will only be their chance to attack again. And so there is a possibility for a victory or a draw for UVA. But if Butler does not complete the map, UVA will win. if Butler is not able to complete with more than a minute left, both teams will get a chance to attack. We'll kind of have to see how that goes as we get used to it, though. Here, Butler spawned inside this sort of broken down repair shop. It looks like here in the streets of Havana. As we're trying to get a look at this attacking composition, we have the Ryan, we have the Zarya, and the Brig Moira. May, I will be interested to see what we see from Cabbage. If we get the Widowmaker, if we get the Hanzo again, I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Hanzo again. Just because of how much success they had last time. And then obviously UVA pulling out the very similar composition. In fact, mirror composition except for Cabbage's Genji. I'm very interested, based on the DPS play of this this player here at the beginning of the series, I'm very interested to see how this Genji play is going to be able to pull out. But again, Trickmaster with the sleep onto the Reinhardt, able to slow this down just a little bit. As the payload begins to move. Again, Anguish Hanzo, that's going to be the main deterring factor here for Butler, or for UVA against Butler. But as he's firing here with no, he's firing here with no counter from the lower ground, that's obviously not what you want to see. And in fact, Nehu's able to take out Jack forward 4, and that's going to be the first opening pick that hopefully is going to be the start of something new here for Butler, or something as Cabbage Genji trying to dash away from the freeze. It's a bad news if you're a Genji player. Unfortunately, that Moira kill could have come up, but it didn't quite. As Butler's still pushing the payload. With finally a Genji kill on optimal maps. May, excuse me. Trading for the Pharah that has come up from Sly Tiger with running Genji Pharah now. Back and forth, as well as this comes out, is able to bubble the Moira right here, give her as much protection as possible. Still isn't quite able to go down as we built up the Reinhardt Earth Shatter, but I'm not sure that it's going to get used. We don't have a May for the Genji, but it doesn't even matter because Genji's Genji's taken down here by the Zarya, and that's going to be a full retreat here for Butler, as we have again Sly Tiger on the Pharah. Trying to not get melted down, unfortunately, by the Soldier on the part of Optimal Lab. We swapped to Soldier Junkrat, interestingly, off the Hanzo onto the hit scan against the Genji Pharah. Hey, not traditional compositions here, but you know, we'll do what we can. I'd love to watch a good Dragon Blade here. I think it's going to be particularly on the Genji here to get up to the high ground and address this Junkrat that's just raining down 120 damage grenades with his grenade launcher. Unfortunately, not able to find tons of opportunities for kills. Lots of chip damage, but not. Okay, here comes the blade. Here comes the blade. No nano boost, but it's fine. The Graviton Surge comes out. More, but the Ana falls, and so does the Moira. UVA has no healing, while we're still traded. In fact, for 4, it's still technically kind of winnable, but certainly not now. Unfortunately, you take out the Moira, you take out the Ana, but you can't lose your team around you. Unfortunately, that's kind of how that goes. As this next fight, we'll see the rally, we'll see the Earth Shatter. Butler's down to 1 minute and 20 seconds to try to push this payload, and we're almost all the way pushed back around the corner here. The rally comes out from depression. I'm sure we'll see the Earth Shatter soon. Maybe a Stun Shatter combo would be awesome. We haven't seen those days of Ghosts. But unfortunately, the Red Shatter is first, as is the Attack Visor and the Colossus and the Nano Boost onto, I assume, the Reinhardt. It's a lot of ultimates here. Caused by UVA in order to win this fight, and I think that's going to be your one. That's going to be your one blessing here. If you are Butler University, is that UVA had to use so many ultimates to win that fight, or maybe they didn't have to, but they did anyway. So you're coming in with the Graviton Surge. You're coming in almost about halfway to a Coalescence. So the Graviton Surge is really the only ultimate you have. So it's going to take a lot of follow-up and a really well-placed grab. Here from Nehush, in fact, is going to be the key here to this fight, as they've got 30 seconds left. This is going to be the last fight for Butler if they're trying to complete point A even and stay alive in this series. Graviton Surge, waiting for the perfect moment here to throw this out, and okay, there's solo grab on the Reinhardt, unfortunately, as the Rift Tower comes out, and that's going to be an explosive end to this map. Nobody's able to touch the point here, trigger overtime, and that's going to be a UVA victory on Havana, 3-2-0, I think, technically. So significantly more dominant than we saw in the first map, Oasis, which is a little bit unfortunate as we have here play the game from Jack 4x4. It occurs to me I never swapped the attack and defense icon. Sorry about that, guys. But again, at the end of Butler's attack, not able to make it out to point A, and that is the end of this map. Obviously, we are still looking at one more map because this is best of 5, and so hold on. That's what we're looking at here. This is best of 5, and so technically, we will be able to see another. Why is this not changing? I don't know. We will be able to see one more map. It's going to be a hybrid map. Again, Butler's choice of map. There we go. Okay. As we'll head back into the face cam mode here, if I can get it. It'll be Butler's choice of map as we head into map 3 from Kings Row, Numbani, or Eichenwald. Kings Row, Numbani, or Eichenwald will be the choices here on the hybrid map. If UVA is able to win this, they'll take the series outright. But if Butler is able to pull out on map 3, we'll go to map 4, potentially sending it to the reverse sweep is what Butler's looking for at this point to win it in 5. Looks like Butler's choice is going to be Kings Row for the hybrid map. Obviously a fan favorite in lots of respects. Just a really nice map to play as far as that goes. So we have that set up here, waiting on a ready. Waiting on a ready for both teams, and we'll be headed into map 3. Hopefully not the last map of the series, though it is possible. And here we go. Headed into GLHF. Headed into Kings Row. Looks like Butler will be defending.
Entering Kings Row.
I assume that's fine. As the map is starting here, let's go ahead and swap over to this thing so you can actually see what's going on. I'm not sure why I haven't updated the score, or the score was not updated, but now it is. Butler is down 2-0, unfortunately, looking for the reverse sweep in order to complete this series. Obviously, UVA was looking for the map victory here on Kings Row, which is a hybrid of the control and escort maps we've seen in the past. So there'll be a control point right here, sure enough you can see, that will then unlock the payload that Butler, UVA-wise I should say, initially is going to have to push along this payload track through point B, which is here into, they call this, what do they call this? I don't know, but at the end of the map, and that'll be point 3. So, again, Butler defending, looking here, trying to stay alive in this series. It's been a decent series, honestly. I'm not as big of a difference here as it was last week against Stevens Institute of Technology. This has been a much closer series, and I'm a big fan of seeing that. As we've had some role swaps, it looks like here. Nehush now on the Reinhardt, Pineapple Soda playing the DPS along with Sly Tiger. Cabbage will be playing on the Zarya. Looks like Ryan Zarya from both sides with the Junkrat on attack compared to the Hanzo that we're getting with the Mei. So some interesting compositions here as we can just watch some of the rotations. We're getting UVA going through the hotel, it looks like, as we're on board here with the Zarya. And Jack 4x4 on the Reinhardt. Oh, is caught out by the Mei wall and not quite killed. Finally is killed by the Moira Orb. You gotta love it. That's going to be a solid victory here for Butler, but unfortunately they got to close it out now here when all the rest of the members of the UVA-wise that are sort of stuck in the middle of the hotel it's a matter of just trying to see how aggressive they're going to be. But there's a couple kills here from Cabbage on the Zarya is able to pick out a couple kills here, and unfortunately this second push here from UVA-wise is over almost before it started as Optimal Naps May goes down. Love that name, by the way, but it's not enough. It is not enough. As we do have a League of Legends map match going on in the background. Hopefully it's not too loud here for the stream, but it's fine. as Butler continuing to defend UVA down to about 2.5 minutes to make their next attack. Earthshatter comes out. In fact, Butler has 5 ultimates with the grab and the blizzard coming in at first, but that's going to be enough for some 4 kills, or 3 and a Reinhardt, I guess, or 3 and a May. But yeah, you're going to be backing out here at least a little bit, you would think. But unfortunately, the loss of Zarya is significant enough that we've got to try to see where this Earthshatter is going to come out. Really nice block, and the counter shatter comes up from Nahush. It's huge, and the Riptire comes through. Unfortunately, that's going to find a kill. That's going to find 3 kills, as seemingly out of nothing, that's going to be a cap. That's going to be a cap here for UVA. It was a really nice Earthshatter coming out from Nahush, but also the 3K Riptire. That was enough there to secure this point, as UVA is going to capture and unlock the payload. This is sort of hiding around the corner, trying to build up as much early engagement power as they can. Butler, obviously, I'd love to see them come up and attack just a little bit more aggressively. It looks like they're trying to do that, but not quite able to catch this payload here in the choke would be awesome. And now they're finally making this move. That's awesome. I'd love to see a really nice May wall blocking off the Graviton Surge. I love it, but unfortunately, that's a lot of damage coming through from a lot of different sources. There's a team kill for UVA as they continue to push basically on the payload, not pushing ahead a lot, but as I say that, here come the reinforcements. And Butler looking to reset again from having a lot of ultimates to not very many here. Closest they are is to the Graviton Surge from Cabbage's Zarya, but even then, it's going to take probably at least a fight or something along those lines to charge it up again. Optimal Nap frozen, almost taken down as Trickmaster's break goes low as well, but the rally is popped, the red Earth Shatter is popped, and that's enough to pick up a couple kills, and that's going to be point B, basically without resistance. Obviously, Butler did attack, but not really able to stop this payload as it's rolling through now. Point B, clearly UVA has practiced their payload tech. I think it's fair to say, as Butler doing okay on the control map, but these massive payload components are not looking as smooth here for the Bulldogs. We have the Blizzard coming through. Pineapple Soda can put that to good use, just depending on how this is placed. We've seen some bubbles come out. Now might be a good time. There's no D.Va against her, but he's killed. It actually comes out through. I would have expected that the Blizzard would have been canceled, but it comes through. They're able to take down the Reinhardt on the back of it. As the Graviton Surge comes out too, that's going to be several kills. Anguish on the Junkrat falls, and that's going to be a fight win for Butler. Except for that very first fight of the match, basically their first fight win all of King's Row so far. So it's good to have a little bit of stability. We see maybe a boost into the well or something here from the Fresh Lucio, but it is not to be, as UVA has rebounded here, and they're looking for the Graviton Surge as well. Lost this last fight to ones, but now they're hoping to win on the back of this one from Tadpool. 100 charge Zarya, Wreck-It Face, there goes the Shatter. Maywall comes out to block it, which is really nice, keeping Nahush out from some damage. But again, the Riptire is actually destroyed by Sly Tiger on the Pharah. That's actually a really nice play there, taking out the Riptire that's caused them so much trouble in the past. As again, Trickmaster's Brig going low, but not quite able to be finished, except for by Nahush on the Reinhardt. And trading kills contested on the payload. There goes the grab. Love to see a barrage, but we don't quite have it yet. That would have been nice, for the combo's sake. But meanwhile, Butler's still winning this fight. There's the booping of the body of the May, just for a little, I don't know. But May's dead. And the Zarya, again, 100 to charge, trying to use this to her advantage. That's awesome. Obviously, you don't want to die at that level, though, so Cabbage got to be really careful with his health bar. But right now, Cabbage is doing almost as much damage as the May or the Pharah. It's just melting down the red Reinhardt. Excellent Shatter coming through from Nahush, and that's enough. That's enough to get a couple quick kills here. I really like this Reinhardt play that I'm seeing from both teams, but particularly lately here from the tanks of Butler University, driving UVA back to the spawn. Just under 2 minutes left in this series. And again, the Maywall blocking the red Shatter. I love this. As not getting the value we need from some of these ultimates from the side of UVA, whether it's the Riptide that was destroyed or the Earth Shadow that was blocked. But now 3 kills are able to give them control of the payload again. Depression, I'd love to see try to get his team out of there if possible, but at the same time, it's the sound barrier waiting for it. Falls with sound barrier. That's unfortunate, but the Blizzard comes out, and the Barrage gets 1 kill, but unfortunately, it's not quite enough. As the Hanzo is able to take out Slight Tiger on the Pharah. It's like 4v2 on the payload right now, but Butler does have a small advantage. The sound barrier comes out from Depression, trying to keep as many members of his team alive as possibly can, but Pineapple Soda falls. Butler pushing ahead with the advantage that they have, but the Maywall is ahead. Maywall is in there. 2 kills from Cabbage, going huge before he falls with the Graviton Surge. But that's actually going to be another successful win here from Butler. If they're able to pick up some of these stragglers, they should be able to win this based on numbers alone. Going forward with Sly Tiger, maybe she can get a boot into the well or the pit of some kind like that. But meanwhile, we got the Dragon Strike and the Blizzard and the Coalescence coming out from UVA. The Graviton Surge comes out, but it gets nothing for Butler University, unfortunately. And now we really have to watch these DPS ultimates, as there's the Dragon Strike is not able to get a kill. But just the pressure from UVA is able to push the payload significantly further ahead. There's the Red Blizzard. We're going to try to clear some space again, but it's the pressure on the Lucio stalling on this payload as long as he possibly can. Trying to avoid the damage from the red team. It finally does fall. It's Nature's Reinhardt now on the point. Falls very quickly, and that looks like Les Pineapple Soda is able to stall him, but he is not. And there's the Shatter. UVA is able to complete King's Row with 0 seconds on the time, all the way down in overtime. So in that regard, it's a good hold for Butler University. So it's a very clear path ahead of them. Now they need to do what they can to attack and complete. Excuse me. There we go. This is what I want. So that Butler will be on the attack now, but it will be their job to try to complete this point, to try to complete this map all the way to point C. The path ahead of them is clear. If they're able to do that, worst they can get is a draw, and they'll stay alive in this series. If they're not, UVA is going to take this 3-0.
Ready.
Let me get a drink here, and we'll continue this match.
Nothing's gonna stop.
See the little game of Hearthstone somebody's playing here in King's Row. While we are waiting on this series to start, it looks like we're going to have the Junkrat and the May coming out on defense for UVA against, looks like a Junkrat Pharah, at least right now, for Butler University. I like the Pharah pick. They've had some good success with that. The Junkrat will have to see, how the success is as far as oftentimes used a lot for breaking shields. But it looks like we might see an exciting rollout here right at the beginning, or maybe just avoiding some snipers. That's not a bad idea. But unfortunately, you're not going to see any Sly Tiger, so I'd love to see it. Get out and let's go do this thing. Except for, apparently, Mindrian's a decent Ana player. Who knew? We see Trickmaster play that a lot here for this team. Sly Tiger goes for the health pack. Meanwhile, there's a brawl going out on the point. Pineapple Soda falls to optimal nap. And Nehosh also traded by the Zarya. Or just killed by Zarya straight up. As I'm running into the statue here. That's going to be 3 kills, and Butler's going to have to come out. Unfortunately, Sly Tiger not in a great position here on Pharah, trying to escape with her life if it's possible. Or potentially take out the Junkrat, but yeah, not quite with the aim and fire right there that is needed to do that. And that's a couple more kills. Butler's going to need to completely reset. Love to see potentially punishing the Zarya's over the Senny, but other than that, get out of the way and wait for all six players to come in here. Maywall comes in and is mildly successful, but unfortunately not really the kind of efficacy we want to see, as Zarya comes up to about 50, 60 energy, 70 energy. And the engage comes in. Jack 4x4 almost brought low here by Cabbage is now playing the Zarya, but not quite, and that's another 2 quick kills with Sly Tiger trying to build up the ultimate as quickly as she possibly can. This Ana is really giving problems for Butler, both with Bionades, but also even just with the sniping of the hit scan sniping of the Pharah. Built up, we have a Riptire coming through. That's going to be big. That's going to be the kill on the Ana and the Junkrat. Combined with the Coalescence, it's looking as an advantage to Butler. 3 kills now. Now, can they capitalize and turn this into a point capture as the Reinhardt goes down? Yeah, that's almost a team kill. With the other 2 obviously having died, and that's gonna be enough for Butler to cap the point. Just under 2 minutes left of the timing, and they'll get some extra time to boot. It's gonna be like 3.5 or 4 minutes, I think, that they will have now to capture. 4.5 minutes almost. That we'll have now to capture this payload and escort to the end of the point. Looks like we have no one on Pharah duty, right? Or on payload duty right now. No one is pushing the payload. You love to see it, you hate to see it. No one is pushing the payload. Sly Tiger is able to come up with the kill, but Navish traded, unfortunately, with the Junkrat mine. Both Reinhardt's down. Actually, Butler had a numbers advantage right now, but they realized that the payload was unoccupied. I'd love to see just one player on this payload, potentially Lucio, potentially the Moira, and have the rest of the team push ahead against this relatively unorganized team. But again, we're looking at 5 ultimates from UVA, and this isn't a fight that you really can expect to win. As a Butler team, you just want to lose this as quickly and as expensively for UVA as possible. As the Riptire comes in with nothing. So in fact, the grab and the Riptire really getting no value for UVA. It's a nice thing for Butler. We have a blue Earth Shatter that can be coming up here pretty soon. I'd love to see that combined with some really nice Pharah shots here as the blue Riptire comes in and is shot down by our own Junkrat, or by the Junkrat of UVA, unfortunately. Nano boost onto, looks like Jack, potentially, with the red Earth Shatter, and that's going to be enough for a couple kills and another stalled point here for UVA, as hopefully Butler is able to get away. Sly Tiger with the escape here with the Zarya bubble. So what are we looking at? We're looking at coalescences here on both sides. That's not exactly new. We're close to the barrage here that could potentially combine with a Graviton Surge if that's able to be built more quickly, or something like the Earth Shatter. But whatever happens, it's got to happen quickly, as we're now on board here with Zernastro on the Coalescence, trying to track as many players as possible within his crosshairs. Trading the Reinhardt for the Junkrat. That's the trade Butler Universe will take. As Optimal Naps Mace goes down. Barrage sort of discouraging UVA from poking their heads out, but not really finding a kill. Now with this Zarya isolated, ought to go down pretty quickly, but in the meantime, not tons of people on the point in order to escort it. As the payload moves just over 2 minutes now to capture point B, it looks like they're gonna have success. Is anybody still behind? There's a Moira still behind that has 25 health and needs to die. I don't know where she thinks she's going, because she can't die here. I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh. I should be casting a match. But, okay. So we're back into it. Finally, the Moira dies from Pineapple Soda. The Graviton Surge comes out. Finally able to track, but the red Nano Boost comes out on the Reinhardt, keeps him from dying within the Junkrat trap, but it's not quite enough. As I'd love to see a Junkrat tire come in potentially, but it looks like he's having success enough as the UVA Junkrat is able to just fall. Oh, here's a really nice tire spot. If he's able to make it. Yeah, I'd love to see this. I'd love to see this. Oh, but it's shot down almost immediately by Deadpool on the Zarya. Unfortunately, Protect's a little bit too well telegraphed, but nobody's really able to touch here except for Jack on the Reinhardt, and then the Junkrat followed up. Optimal Naps Bastion not able to set up in time. Butler's able to cap with 2.5 minutes left in their time bank. That's an excellent result here for Butler University Bulldogs.
3-3.
So what we'll have now is a second attack round for Butler University. They have their 2.5 minute time bank to just get 1/3 of point A, and that is actually all they will have to do to win this series, I believe. Assuming I have my tiebreaker rules in my head correctly, which I think I do. They have 2.5 minutes to capture just 1/3 of point A right here, and they will win this map. The worst that can happen right now is a draw, which means we are going to a map 4 guaranteed. We will see an assault map here
Ready for battle.
following the series, which is awesome. I'd love to see more Overwatch between these two teams. They're having some really good successes here. So it's a matter of how quickly Butler can make this attack if they're able to have a success here on point A against the UVA defense. So it looks like we're seeing a very similar composition here with Junkrat and Pharah. They had success enough here, but it was on the back of some ultimates. I'd love to see a little bit. I don't know if higher is the word, but excuse me, some really nice picks here from our double span heroes. If we can get a couple picks early, that'll be maybe potentially enough to get this going, as we have the Sonic Arrow come out from UVA. They know exactly where and potentially what Butler's running. Very similar composition here, but we have the Soldier 76. That's gonna be a problem here for Slight Tiger on the Pharah, as he's gonna have to be wary of that the whole time, as the Red Moira goes down, but unfortunately so do 3 of Butler's players, and that's got to be a quick reset if you're Butler. You got to get out of there. Don't have the time to. You don't have the time to waste with these kind of fights. They need to be quick and they need to be decisive if you want to get as many fights as you can. Already down less than 2 minutes to try to get, yes, sure enough, 1/3 of point A in order to win this map. And we're here potentially getting approach number 2, but as we say that, we can't have that with the Junkrat falling so quickly. We can't have a second approach until the Junkrat comes back, which is unfortunate. But unfortunately, we've come up with some ultimates now here too for UVA, as they've been able to take the upper hand over Butler in the first couple of fights. And Cabbage is already very low, and the right heart goes down. That's not the time to engage. And I think Butler's discovering that as Sly Tiger almost goes down here to the hit scan of Optimal Naps. Where is it? There he is. Optimal Nap, Soldier 76. Really with suppressive fire, but now we have some support ultimates. Now is when, if you're Butler University, you can think about making a successful approach, as we're now here under 1 minute. Graviton Surge comes in, and this is the Grav Dragon, but the Sound Barrier comes out in order to prevent the kills from coming in, but the Nano Boosted Reinhardt from Jack 4x4 almost going down, finally is killed, but as we say that, the Graviton Surge comes out. Are they able to find a couple kills? Butler's able to find 2 with the DPS players of UVA. But is it enough? Are they able to get a couple more kills? That's obviously what we need to see, and this might be it. It's gonna have to take the stall now, but that's not gonna be enough. Butler's able to take map 3. What is this? Map 3 on Kings Row. 4-3. This is the map when they need it. They're staying alive in the series, and we're going to map 4. Very nice play here from Butler University. You'll love to see it. I love these teams. As we hear the play of the game from Trickmaster on the Brigida, putting in some work here on Butler's first attack, it looks like. Something like that. We have 35 high energy kills for Cabbage on the Zarya, getting some work there. Yeah, 6 upvotes deserve that, obviously. Nope, 6 is more than 5. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I think, I'm not going to leave the game. I'm going to wait for that to go back to the lobby. There we go. Look at that. Nope, I have to send it to the lobby. Whatever. It's fine. GG's. We have Assault next. Let's get back to the face cam here for you guys, because I know you want to see more of my face as we're here between map 3 and map 4. Again, it's been a super exciting series here between the Butler University Bulldogs and the University of Virginia at Wise. Cavaliers is their mascot here, as we have UVA deciding on which map we will see for the Assault map 4. UVA picking out Oasis relatively close, 2-1. And winning Escort 3-0, pretty decisive here for UVA. But Butler pulling it out 4-3 on Kings Row, winning the hybrid map and sending us to map 4. It'll be either Hanamura, Anubis, or Volskaya Industries, which we'll see in a second here based on their pick. Which again, it will be UVA's pick. Butler will decide. Looks like it's going to be Hanamura is going to be the pick for UVA. So that's where we headed for map 4. And Butler gets to choose whether they're attacking or defending first. And we will launch right into it. This is map 4 out of a potential 5 to try to see who is able to win this best of 5 series. which is in week 2 of Tespa. So Butler will defend first, so no change. And wait for a ready signal for both teams, and we should be good to go. Headed into map number 4. With the really nice prowess Butler was able to show on the assault maps, or on the control map earlier in the series. I'm looking forward to the assault map just because of the control point style of play that we're going to be able to see. Hopefully Butler's able to continue exerting their dominance, but their successes here that they've had in this series. As we are ready for both teams, we will get right into this map number 4 as we are launching into Hanamura. Same thing with attack and defense, but in this case, Butler University will start here on attack. Excuse me, that's where the attackers will spawn, but there are 2 capture points here. Sometimes the assault map type is called 2CP. This is the first capture point around the big metal bell. If a team is successfully able to capture that, the attacking team, then they will get the chance to capture a second point, which is right here. This is point B, as we can see the arrow that Hanzo almost killed Genji with in that one cinematic that one time. That's kind of cool, right? They're on the Super HD graphics. Here comes Butler on the defense. We have Nehush on the Reinhardt and Cabbage on Zarya. I like that. I think Cabbage performed really well on the Zarya last map. Looking forward to see more of that from him. And so then the compositions here from UVA not quite set up yet. Looks like we're looking at the Hanzo again and the Mei with the Rein Zarya mirror as we are getting ready here. Less than 10 seconds before we launch into map 4. See what UVA is able to do on their attack and whether Butler is able to answer. Again, going back to what we know, we like the Pharah, we like the Rein Zarya. I'm a fan of this. We gotta watch out there from the damage behind you, as UVA is making their approach into this, what you might know from ladder as a horrendous choke point. I'm not sure who that is. That's the Mei waiting on a wall setup. I like that forethought here, as there's just a poke battle here going on before any team is really willing to engage. Slight Tiger not able to get tons of ultimate charge yet on the Pharah, but obviously working there in the sky. The progress is coming. Trading back and forth the damage, building up some ultimate charge. Nobody's really able to secure a kill yet until right now with the Fire Strike on Anguish. That's able to open things up for Butler with a second kill on Tadpole. And that's going to be enough to... Oh, but the red Earth Shatter comes in, but I think it's a Desperation Earth Shatter more than anything. And that's going to be successful kills here for Butler University, and a good first defense, as we're now just under 3 minutes left for UVA's attack. They've just successfully expended 1 minute, basically. And again, with the Fire Strike kill, nice. The more kills Butler can get, even in advance of the fight, the better it is for them, honestly. As there goes the grab, and just already using some ultimates to win this fight preemptively. Arguably not necessary, but a couple kills here, as with the Ash swap actually from Optimal Map. Interesting choice. As Butler's pushed all the way up to spawn. This can be dangerous. I'd like to see Slight Tiger get out of there, because I'm afraid she's going to die, but able to make it out. But yeah, staying on, swapping off of the Ash, I have to say, onto the Soldier 76 and the answering Pharah. This would be an interesting matchup here between Anguish and Slight Tiger in general. The Butler DPS have been able to hold their own, so it's nice to see that for sure. As another kill here from Depression's Lucio onto Zarya. This is several times now Zarya has actually died first. But of course, the Nana Boost with Reinhardt, that has been frozen, still able to stay up, but not for very long. Depression with the kill again. Trading back and forth, it's actually these trades are not in Butler's advantage because of how close UVA's spawn is, but they've brought the time now down to 1.5 minutes. The Graviton Surge can come out from Virginia, but Depression with the sound barrier has the ability to counter this. It's just a matter of seeing how and when how and when either of them are used. In fact, we'll stay on board here with Tadpool to see if we can get the deployment of the Graviton Surge. As again, both teams just sort of posturing here. The Choke not really going aggressive on anything yet. Probably it will be the Grav that will make the difference when it is time for that. Again, I mean, there goes the Grav. But unfortunately, it's on the other side of a May wall, so it's actually a super well super defensive May wall here. Depression Sound Barrier comes out to counter. Sure enough, but it's a couple kills again. Somebody's on the point. Who is it? It's Cabbage answering against Anguish's Farah that was able to sort of sneak around the side. You kind of want to avoid that if you can, as Optimal Nap falls, also tracked down by the Zarya from Butler University. Obviously, you'd love to see the flank and point touch here in about 20 seconds when UVA is going to need to trigger overtime. But this is looking like a full hold from Butler University with another kill onto the red Zarya. If they're able to hold on for just a few seconds longer, about 15 seconds, and that's all we're going to need in order to potentially win this fight as the Graviton Surge comes out. Again, it's going to be Anguish Farah with the reverse Mirage actually able to claim a couple kills, but is able on the point. Anguish finally is able to touch the point as the Winston jumps in from Tadpool, but unfortunately that's about all we're going to see. Nobody's able to touch the point again, and that's a full hold from Butler University. 0% capture progress, and that's a really nice defense. I'm really a fan of that, and your Bulldog fans should be as well. Again, just like on King's Row, all Butler needs now is a 1/3 capture progress on King's Row in order to win this series, and in order to win this map, send us to a decisive map 5, and continue this really nice series, because it has been a really nice series. And yeah, just coming up with some waiting for team compositions here, but it's been a really nice series. I love to see more of it. And again, the worst we can have now for Butler University is a draw, which will send us to a map 5 regardless. So it's really cool to see. Actually, will it send us to a map 5 regardless? Because UVA is up 2-1. I'm not sure. That might be a I think that might actually. I think Butler might actually need the win here. But all they need is 1/3. All they need is 1/3 of the capture point in order to be able to have success, and that's a really cool thing to see. I'm looking forward to see how this attack goes and how quickly we're able to take this.
We will stand together.
Will we see the Symmetra? Pineapple Soda? Remains to be seen. I would love to see a Symmetra play, especially since we only need one part of the first capture point. I would love to see the Symmetra teleporter come out and just sneak right behind the UVA team, but it's going to take a lot of protecting of your main DPS here. Some really good shielding from Nahush is going to be necessary in order to get the teleporter set up. As Butler's going to take it now. The May wall doesn't matter if Butler can just spin around and take the back way here, as they're on the point, almost captured already. It's 5-1, 5-3, 5 on the point, but Butler's pulling out the kills, and that's an amazing choice from Butler University, pulling out the Symmetra to take the teleporter point. 1/3 of the point, and that's gonna be a victory for Butler on Hanamura, tying up the series thanks to the Pineapple Soda Symmetra. And just like that, we're going to a map 5 guaranteed. This is going to be for all the marbles, and wow, this has been a good series. I'm enjoying casting this. It's a long one, much longer than last night, but I'm really a fan of this, and I'm hoping you're enjoying the Overwatch we get to see here, as we see 81% kill participation from Butler's Moira from Zarya and Astra. That's excellent numbers, and yeah, wow, that was you guys are having good success here. I'm really enjoying myself casting. As we're headed into a map 5 now. It will be the choice of University of Virginia. They get to choose from Ilios or Busan are your 2 map choices. We'll have to see what they pick. But this is very exciting. I'm very, very excited. I don't know what to say. But yeah, Butler being able to come out here on King's Row and on Hanamura to pull out these map wins when they need it the most. The reverse sweep is possible here as we're headed into Ilios for our very final map of the series. Whoever wins Ilios will take the series. Looks like we'll be waiting briefly on one of the players again before we can launch into map 5. But again, it's been a story of two very different teams here, or very different halves of this series, is fair to say. Again, Oasis sort of close, finally going the way of UVA, but escort map on Rialto pretty dominating, pretty dominant by UVA. But Butler pulling it out on Kings Row 4-3 with just one tick. 1/3 of a tick needed on their second attack, and Hanamura is pulling out the full hold, and then a really quick Symmetra play to have a really nice, very quick attack to pull out map 4. And now, this is it, map 5, best of 5 series. This is for all the marbles headed into Ilios. Obviously, Butler did not have a very good Ilios round last week, so we'll have to see. Hopefully they're able to have more success here. Excuse me, particularly there was some really high-level Doomfist play that they were having trouble answering last week. So I have to see what kind of success they're able to have with that. It looks like we are about ready here to start the map, potentially. We'll wait for confirmation from these teams here, but then we'll take us into map number 5. Looks like we have readies from both teams, and this is it. This is for all the marbles going into map 5. We're headed to Ilios, and Butler again on the left side of your screen, UVA wise on the right, and we're starting on Oasis well again, or Ilios well again, I should say. This is an interesting look. I can just kind of play with the camera while we're waiting on things to happen. There's a big old windmill. That's kind of cool. It has super futuristic, like, solar panel-y things. And somewhere around here you can see the other 2 maps too. The ruins is just over that way. But so we're back on a control map. There's a capture point right here in the middle. This is what teams are fighting over control of, right here around the well. And that's going to be it. Other than that, it's going to be pretty straightforward. We're going to see the Orisa Hog. It'll be interesting to see if they stay on this, but that's going to be a combination we haven't seen very often so far yet in this series, but also really sort of in this metagame very much at all. But we have seen Orisa Hog. We are seeing Orisa Hog, I should say, here in this series, and so that's going to be interesting to see how that's going to work as the doors are opening and the teams are rolling out, and we are headed into map 5 of this series. Very exciting, very exciting, and that is how it's gonna go. Looks like UVA rotating around the side as Butler's taking some pretty aggressive stance here on the point initially. I love the Farah pick here from Sly Tiger, but 3 really quick kills. I don't think Butler was ready for the Orisa Hog. 3 really quick kills. That's going to mean that UVA is able to capture this point pretty quickly to pull out the first capture here on Ilios Well.
Come on, try me.
This Hog is going to be crucial if he's able to land the kind of hooks that we need to see from the Roadhog, or if Butler's able to counter the hooks that we need to see from the Roadhog. That's going to make a big difference on this round, one way or the other. But again, we have the Mei. The Mei wall comes out sort of defensively for Butler, allowing them to get in a better position. Sly Tiger as far as going around the side, but unfortunately is spotted out and almost dies. Able to stay up though with the rest of her team. You'd love to see the really nice boops here, potentially from the Farah, as we're playing sort of a ground style that I'm interested to see. But the Hanzo from Anguish able to pick up the DPS here to take out Sly Tiger on the Farah, and that's gonna be another fight win here for UVA as they're already up to 45%. It does build very fast, but depresses Lucio with the 2K boop. That's exactly what you want to see. That's how Butler's going to find success in this series. Tracking down the Orisa, shooting her in the butt. That's kind of how that works. And Butler's able to recap here at 58% for UVA. Now it's a matter of how successfully they're able to hold this map. We have the Earth Shatter, we have the Sound Barrier, we have the Graviton Surge. These are all good ultimates that are going to be able to be successful. But the way they're used is very important, as Jack 4x4 falls on the Moira already. You hate to see it, as the let's see, that's Butler's Earth Shatter and the Blizzard coming out, able to succeed on a kill for the Roadhog, and followed up with 2 more kills on the Brig and the Hanzo. That's going to be a hold. But meanwhile, we have optimal nap on the Mei that had to be killed before anything crazy could happen. As we have some of the members of UVA hiding right there in the house they can't quite see, and the swap to Hanzo is here. Dragon Strike can really clear the point. They've got to be careful of that as Butler University. But again, the Sound Barrier will still have, and there's the Graviton Surge coming through, but unfortunately not able to capture anyone but the Orisa, who's able to shift out of it. There's the Hanzo on the flank. Hopefully able to be countered very quickly, as now UVA has swapped the Pharah of their own. They'd be watching something going on here. Pineapple Soda almost melted down, but not quite. There goes the Dragon Strike. Not able to, finally does find 2 kills. I stand corrected. Make that 3 for the Hanzo, and that unfortunately is probably going to be a map, or not a map win, a fight win for UVA, as they can pick it back up after Butler's at 80% now and counting. If anybody else is able to tag, they can extend that a little bit, but it looks like no. So it's going to be 84% for Butler. If they can win one more fight, they'll be looking really good for this particular point on Helios. But meanwhile, UVA is starting to pick up to 67%. As the fight begins, we have, again, the Orisa and the Roadhog. I want to see Butler watching out for the pick potential here again from the Roadhog. But we can come in with the Blizzard if we wanted to. We can come in. But there goes the Blizzard. Sure enough, it's thrown out. Not really able to find anybody. The line of sight is not great here for the Blizzard this time, as we have Pharah returning to the spawn. But the Mei from Pineapple Soda putting in some work. We got a couple kills here. Traded with Depression's Lucio. Unfortunately, dies with Sound Barrier. You hate to see. Hopefully, Butler won't need it here in the next few minutes. But the Earth Shatter comes out from Nehush, looking for a really good opportunity to use it. It's just a matter of when. That would be an awesome Shatter. I'd love to see the Shatter, but unfortunately, the shift comes out from Tadpool's Orisa. Escapes with literally a sliver of health. UVA 99%. Butler's got to keep tagging on this point to stay alive, as unfortunately the Lucio is killed and Sly Tiger follows close behind. Who is there? Nobody is there. And that's going to be 84% to 100 on Ilios. Well, very close again with this control point. I'm not surprised at all, but it does go the way of UVA on round 1.
Ready for battle.
As we're now headed to what is this? Lighthouse. Ilios Lighthouse. As you can see that there is a lighthouse on this map. So that's fun. It's sort of around the corner from Ruins also. Butler looking to take this round if they are going to stay alive in this series. And then send us to the round 3 of map 5. That's exactly the kind of excitement we want to see in our lives, as we're looking at potentially a Reinhardt and Roadhog. That would be an interesting composition here. Answering the Ryan Zarya from the side of UVA. Nevertheless, looks like what we're going with here. So again, it could be a story of the Pharah's optimal map versus Sly Tiger in the skies or on the road or on the ground, as it may be. But a couple quick kills here from UVA. That's probably going to mean an initial capture here when the point unlocks right now. And Butler's going to have to come back as an attacker, which is unfortunate. You do get 36% of the way to an Earth Shadow. That's not nothing. But at the same time, things we don't have include the very much barrage charge, for example, of Blizzard. You'd like to see that if possible, but unfortunately not really going to happen this time. As we're now on board, Pineapple Soda's made trying to get an opportunity freeze, potentially taking out Tadpool Zarya. Oh, so close. That was a really nice play, but not quite able to take out the Zarya here. The Healy is just too good as the Mei wall comes out, trying to isolate Trickmaster. Sure enough, it's successful here on the Reinhardt as Butler coming out with the 1 kill advantage, but the fire goes down. Brig is boofed off the point, and we're still in this. Coalescence comes out, trying to keep Nash alive as the Earthshatter is put down. It doesn't really find any stuns, I don't believe, as the fire is tracked down, and that's going to be a capture for Butler as UVA up to 44%. UVA up to 44% on this point, but Butler is beginning to build capture percentage. As the Roadhog here from Cabbage, trying to get an early kill, try to deter this next fight even before it can happen. Trying to see exactly where, what kind of success is able to happen with that. Up 92% now to a whole hog. It's been really close to some exciting things happen. I'd love to see a little bit more aggression here from the side. Tiger potentially trying to get some early advantage here over Alpha, who does have the barrage. As Brig almost taken down. There's the grab from, and there's the grab dragon looks like from UVA. Not able to find any kills directly, but a couple traded here for the Butler, for Butler and UVA. It's going back and forth. The brawl on the point, the barrage comes out, but Optimal Nap is stunned almost immediately, and a couple strong kills here from the Hanzo. From the Roadhog and the Mei are able to hold off this push a little bit longer. Butler finally has now passed UVA in control percent up to 56%, and the Reinhardt is isolated. That's going to be another stagger. But there's still several fights you need to win if you're Butler. And this particularly with this Blizzard will be an excellent way to win right now. It's not eaten, and just almost barely able to capture the Zarya, but that's fine. We'll take the kills off the Brig and get that stall. That's fine. We'll take that every day. And the Coalescence is here as, again, UVA trying to push out of the squad with margin of success. The Earthshatter is coming up for Butler, as is the Bullhog, which Cabbage can manage to stay alive. He has to use the Pink Raider here to stay up with that as the Coalescence comes out from UVA. They're trying to make this last push. This could be close to their last fight. But here comes the Bullhog again, breaking the shields very, very quickly. Reinhardt hardly moved at all because of his death as passive. The stun comes out on the Roadhog, but Cabbage is able to stay alive as May has to use the wall defensively against the break in the duel. But that's 2 kills. That's 2 kills for Butler. Make that 3 on the point. It's looking really good for a point capture here for Butler, sending us all the way. Look at that, almost a team kill. Butler assuming the Reinhardt's not able to charge thanks to the wall. That's an awesome way to end this map as Butler takes Ilios Lighthouse 144%. We are going all the way. In fact, I'm going to type that in chat. All the way. Because we're going to round 3 of map 5 of this second Tespa series. It's going to be Ilios Ruins. It's going to be one more control map, one control round to rule them all. Here we go. I got a drink of water. I'm ready to go. One more round to cast, and then we will have a winner. Whoever wins this round of Ilios Ruins will win the series, and what a series it's been. Again, looking at the Pharah versus Pharah, that's going to be a super crucial part of this series, no matter what happens. We don't really have a Widowmaker. Obviously, this is a really nice Widowmaker map. But unfortunately, a quick double tap from Anguish on Sly Tiger, able to take the Pharah down, and that's a lot of damage that Butler just doesn't have right now. As Butler's Bay tried to push out and use the Ice Block, but Anguish Pharah falls as well. Still a draw on the point. The point is not yet unlocked, but now it will. And it's a matter of which team can build control there quickly. As Trickmaster's Reinhardt goes down, Pineapple Soda, and now the rest of Butler has stepped down at the point, and they, as this microphone has fallen onto me. So I have to adjust this. But it looks like Butler's able to capture the point, which is awesome. That's exactly how we want to start the series. I might just have to hold this microphone, which is unfortunate. But that's exactly how we want to start the series. As we're headed now up past 10%, and Butler is trying to have as an aggressive a defense as they possibly can. Because that's what's going to win the series is aggressive defense and trying to stop these fights before they happen. Like, for example, with this excellent Ice Wall, if they can take down Trickmaster's Reinhardt, exactly they're able to do that. That's going to be able to be successful for this push. And again, hardly having a chance to fight at all. as we have Sly Tiger sort of hanging back here on the point. As with the rest of Butler, right here, aggressive hold. I love this hold. This is exactly the kind of aggressive we want to see. As we just built the sound barrier as well as the graviton surge to answer the coalescence from both sides. Butler with the ultimate advantage here. Literally, my microphone is falling into my chest. This is the worst time for this possibly to happen. We're just going to hang on board with Nehosh for a second as Butler gets another couple kills, looking for the aggressive Earth Shatter potentially. Not quite happening as the Blizzard comes out. And amazing kill streak here for Nehosh on the Reinhardt and for Butler University as it's 68% to 0. UVA has not been able to touch this point at all, and still except for right now, as it's Jack 4x4 on the Moira is probably going to sacrifice his life. Let's swap to some other perspective here. Sly Tiger on the Pharah. I'm literally just holding the microphone in my hand as I'm casting because it's that important. Zern Aster comes up with another kill onto the Moira. UVA down the healing. Look, it's all the way up to 87% now, and there's still been no semblance of resistance here really from UVA. They haven't been able to get through this first choke, and that's 3 kills again. This is looking really good for Butler, and that's almost a team kill. 98%, 99, and that's 6 dead. That's going to be Butler taking Ilios Ruins 100 to 0, and they're going to take the series 3 to 2. What an incredible series. Congratulations to the Butler Bulldogs. They're now 1-1 in the Tespa Spring season. GG's to the University of Virginia's College at Wise Cavaliers. Taking their second loss. We'll have another match for you next week at this time against a different team. Another best of 5. Hopefully it'll be just as exciting as this one. Play of the game here right at the end of the match. That's exactly how you do it. Congratulations again, Butler University. There's all your team cards. Really well performed. Slow start, but pulling out the reverse sweep against University of Virginia. This is the kind of Overwatch you want to see, folks. This was really nice, and I'm glad to have casted. I have been Rex the Dino, and we will catch you right here next week, same time, same place. Wow, what a good series.